I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense. But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man!
This is your first time not actually writing an Ant-Man film, so is it actually quite nice to be surprised? You're like, oh, that's what's happening.
It kind of was, yeah. I mean, it really kind of was to be kind of given a script. I loved writing the other ones. I mean, it was really fun, and I was certainly not the only writer, so it was nice to be in a writer's room and kind of create the thing, and certainly, write and feel as if I had like control and say and all of that. But it was really, it was kind of great to have a script that I could read, and Jeff Loveness, who wrote this script, did a great job, and so yeah, it was kind of cool.
So there's no point where you're like, well, Ant-Man would never do that. Why am I doing this?
No, I mean, I think that his whole take on what the story was, and how he kind of moved it forward and all that, it was spot on. And and it's also, they tend to be pretty collaborative efforts anyway.
Yeah.
So I knew that if I was saying, well, I don't think I'd say it quite like that, then I could just say, oh, I wouldn't say it like that. And they say, oh yeah, whatever you want. And there was also, it's the way that they work at Marvel, I think, as well, and the way Peyton Reed tends to work, which is a real freedom that even on the day, if we're filming, if I think of something in the moment, I'll say it, or if I think of something that I think, I might do some alternate takes with some alternate lines or jokes or whatever it is, that we just do it.
Yeah. And I know this is Ant-Man's trilogy closer, but I feel we have to talk about the Kang of it, because Jonathan Majors is incredible in this film, and at times I know he was a terrible person, but I'm like, yeah, I really agree with you. He's just so charismatic. I'm like drawn in.
Right.
How was it acting across him? Where it was every time you're like, well, maybe Ant-Man's in the wrong.
Well, this is the great thing about a great villain, isn't it? That you can understand their point of view. I feel like Thanos had that too. He's psychotic, but I kind of get what he's saying.
Yeah.
Filming those scenes with Jonathan were great, and it was really, it was such a cool thing, because this is the third one, and obviously the villain in this one is huge. Kang is no joke. So, as Jonathan, and the way he plays him, he's such a great actor, and he had his own kind of rhythm, and everything felt a little, he was in control, he was rooted. And so it felt different. The shooting of the whole thing felt different, and it was a little bit off balance, because it's this kind of constant back and forth between Scott and Kang, and there was a real charged, cool feeling when we got to act our scenes together, and I can't imagine any other person playing this part. He's crushing it.
Yeah, he's great. And I imagine what also felt different is because the majority of this takes place in the quantum realm. You've had VFX on the other films, but this felt like more.
This is a whole new
level
thing.
At times where you were on set, were you just like, how is this my life? Like just wandering around trying to imagine what's over there. Someone with broccoli heads. Or that kind of stuff.
I know.
Like,
I saw it in the script. Like, oh, he looks like broccoli, and meanwhile I'm thinking, like, well, what is that gonna look like? It's the weirdest thing to shoot these things, because usually you don't know. And it isn't until we see the movie when it's finished that we get a real sense. And this one especially, because the environment. We had mock-ups, and there were pictures that they took from real electron microscopes, and I had an idea of what those images blown up might look like. But you just have to use your imagination, and it is exciting knowing, oh, this movie's going to come out, and I'm going to get to see what all of this looks like, and I know it's going to look even crazier than what I'm imagining.
Yeah, definitely. And there has also been a lot made about the fact that this kickstarts Phase 5. It's a position Ant-Man movies haven't necessarily had before.
Yeah.
There's a power vacuum at the head of the Avengers after Endgame. This basically means Ant-Man's the leader of the Avengers, no? He's just leading all the way.
Well, you said it, not me. But it's pretty cool that Ant-Man's, the one that's gonna, kind of face off against Kang and kickstart this thing. Yeah. So I do feel like it was very exciting to know that we were the ones chosen to kind of introduce this guy.
Yeah.
And I know how big of a part he's going to play in everything moving forward.
Yeah, you can just turn to Doctor Strange and be like, "This is how you battle Kang." Like it's easy.
I'll give it. So exactly.
You don't need magic stuff.
Here are my notes. Here you go. Good luck.
Yeah. And just finally, have you read Scott Lang's book, Look Out for the Little Guy. What do you think of him as an author?
I have read a good chunk of it. I have not read all of it, but I've greatly enjoyed what I am currently reading. It's pretty good. Yeah.